because the hurricane hit, you and I are gonna take my boat from where it's docked. I brought it up the river. Well, we're gonna go on a listing appointment, and then we are going to take my boat up the river and talk business. I've always wanted these chairs that cool your ass because South Florida's so fucking hot outside.
We have the house out in Sunset Lake.
Yeah.
Selling.
I'm down the block.
Okay. We'll see you in a few minutes.
Okay, you got it.
All right, bye.
All right, bye. You think she was going to cancel on me? I'm going to go interview them just like they're going to interview me. And you can stay in my car and hang out. Deuces. Because I nailed that, okay? I nailed that, and they don't use me, they're idiots. And that's their loss. Because I basically explained to them, this ain't that hard. Do what I'm telling you to do. You don't even have to use me. And you'll see how freaking right I am. Take your personality out of your house. Because you don't own the house anymore. Make it somebody else's. White. Everything white. Take all your shit out of it. Take your furniture out of it. Take all these things. Take your personality out of your house, and then your house will sell quicker. But the fact of the matter is, as soon as I told her I want all your shit out of here, she's like, yeah, not a problem. She has been burned by 2 other real estate agents, and I saw it in her face. She's scared out of her mind because some dickhead who had a license, who calls themselves a professional, screwed this person over and this family over, and they kept their house in the market for 3 years. And now that depreciates their house because now their house has gone stale. The listing is stale. I told you, I made a profession on fixing people's mistakes because I'm different and I think different. And if you want to be this successful in this real estate game, you need to think different too. I basically told her, I was like, you want 720, you ain't getting it. Put it at 699, let me get you a 690 offer, it'll be a done deal the next day. She's like, well, how do you know? I said, look, my average on the market is 26 days. 26-day average on the market, man. She does what I tell her to do. That house would be sold in less than 60 days. I think I went the wrong way. Clean, right? Gary Finkelstein, Finkelstein Investments. Let's go. I do enough to my properties where I get somebody that's gonna pay top dollar for it, and I know they're not gonna trash it just based on gut feelings. But I really don't like to over-improve properties unless it's my own. You hop fences? Camera? It's a beautiful day for a boat ride, dude. Let's go. I don't really have a reputation for this particular neighborhood, but I scope just investment properties for myself. If you could spend $500,000 on a house that has a competitive advantage that everything else doesn't have, which is ocean access, how do you lose money on it? These are what I mean by hold properties. If you buy a property that's a good investment, a decent investment now, but it's a great investment later, well, why wouldn't you pull the trigger on it? What's up, guys? It's just math, dude. It's just being smart about your money. It's being smart about investments. Some of these houses are dope. I would live in some of these. You buy the biggest hole in this neighborhood for the lowest amount of money, and then you live there and you hold and you fix it up gradually, and you make yourself a ton of money in the next 10 years. That's how you do business. Water and land, water and land. If you have water and land, then you're doing that much better as an investment than somebody that's just got a regular 7,500 square foot lot. That's an X factor. Very important, huh? Well, this is why we live in Fort Lauderdale. So on a day, it's a Wednesday, it's 1:30. Look at this. We're checking out new construction properties on the new river. And this is what they're building. Look at this, California style. It looks like some sort of smart home. It's stunning. I give California their props from being the nicest state, right, beauty-wise. but you can't do this in California. Maybe you can do it in San Diego, but we're known as the Venice of the Americas for a reason, because of all these little finger canals that go through. Just looked at. Now, we're driving on these canals right here, and it's funny because I just get a text message from somebody that has a boat. They need no fixed bridges. They don't care how big the house is, and they can afford about $400,000 to $700,000. So I told her about a house on Marathon over here that's got about 75 feet of frontage, and now she can stick her $3 million Viking there and only have to pay $500,000 for a house. Think smarter, not harder. Does this look cool, or I look like a tool? I don't know, honestly, I don't care. This is the type of people don't realize is in Fort Lauderdale. These are the type of hidden gems. All these are still hidden gems. I asked you if you knew where Riverland was. If you looked at me like I was sideways. You know, this is the type of stuff that, you know, you can capitalize in Fort Lauderdale. So, more motivation. This is Al Capone's old house, and I totally would have freaking loved to have lived in that property. Totally. Nobody cares about history in our generation, man. I like old. I think it's cool. There's a lot of you can do when something's old. This property right here is called Little Florida, and it's actually in the shape of the state of Florida. There's no keys, but it's the actual peninsula. And this house was just sold. I don't know how much money they got for it, but this house was just sold. And that's a property I would kill for because it's different. There's always going to be value to something that's different, that stands out. And just like that with houses, you could be that in real estate. You just have to be different than 100,000 people that are in Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach County that have their real estate licenses. You gotta be different than those people, and you'll be successful in the industry.